Tatum is entering new grounds in this partnership and duo that he's had with Jaylen Brown. You think about what Jaylen Brown has done this season, singularly leading the Celtics into contention without a bona fide second star. And anyone that knows Jaylen Brown, he is as confident of a player and believes in himself as a player, a leader, and as an alpha. But anytime you add a second player back into the mix here, like Jason Tatum, this is a duo that's been super successful. 5 conference finals, 2 NBA finals, 1 championship together. This has the ability to catapult and vault this team into championship contention. But these are different relationships. This is a different dynamic that Jason Tatum is coming back into. They've gone from 2 stars to 1 star, doing it at a high level, now back to 2. How does that play out in these relationships is normal for any team to deal with, but there are different grounds, uncharted territory here for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum said it late summer. I do want to play again. As promised, he will be coming back. All right, Shams, thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz, and for Malika Andrews, our squad in the studio: Kendrick Perkins, Shanae Agumake, and Tim McMahon in the house. Guys, lots to get to. A lot of meat on this bone. The biggest question mark of the season, it's answered now. Jason Tatum will be back for the Boston Celtics. Perk, let's start with you. How is it bringing in a superstar like this back into the lineup when the team has been winning? I mean, this is really going to change the landscape of the conference.
It's as easy as me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Thursday, or as some people call it, Friday Eve. Today we have a massive story to break down because the NBA landscape just shifted in a major way. After 300 days. After tearing his Achilles in the 2025 playoffs. After months of rehab, rumors, and speculation, Jason Tatum is finally back. The Boston Celtics have upgraded him to questionable, and all signs point to him making his season debut this Friday at TD Garden against the Dallas Mavericks. But here is the thing. When I watched this segment on NBA Today, I noticed something interesting. It wasn't just celebration. It wasn't just, oh, the Celtics are back. There was tension in the conversation. There was a real question being asked that nobody wants to answer. What happens to Jaylen Brown? Let me show you exactly what I mean. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break this down because MJ just said something really important. She said, this is new ground. This is uncharted territory. And she is absolutely right. We sit here as fans and we think, oh, the Celtics were good without Tatum, now they add him back, they're going to be unstoppable. But basketball does not work like a video game. These are human beings. These are egos. These are competitors who have spent an entire season adjusting to a new reality. Think about Jaylen Brown for a second. When Tatum went down, nobody gave the Celtics a chance. Everybody thought this was going to be a gap year. Oh, they'll be good, but they're not contenders. And what did Jaylen Brown do? He took that personally. He stepped up. He became the guy. He put himself in MVP conversations. He led this team to the number 2 spot in the Eastern Conference. And now, after all that work, after all that success, after proving that he can be the alpha, the other guy is coming back. And the question nobody wants to ask out loud is, does Jaylen Brown want to share that spotlight again? Now, I know what you're thinking. They won a championship together. They've been to 5 conference finals. They're professionals. And you're right. But let's be real about something. Winning a championship together does not mean there aren't difficult conversations. We saw Kendrick Perkins try to downplay it. He said, it's as easy as putting food in front of me. He acted like there is no issue. But Perk knows better than anybody what happens when 2 stars have to figure out a new pecking order. He played in Boston. He saw it up close. And Chauncey brought up something else that I think is even more important. The mental hurdle. Tatum is not just walking back into the same situation he left. The offense has changed. The rhythm has changed. The confidence of the team has changed. Jaylen Brown has been the closer. He has been taking the big shots. He has been the one with the ball in his hands in crunch time. Now, you're asking him to go back to being option 1B. You're asking him to defer. And for somebody who has played at an MVP level all season, that is not an easy adjustment. It doesn't matter how professional you are. It doesn't matter how much you like your teammate. That is human nature. And let's talk about Tatum's side of this. Coming back from an Achilles is brutal. Chauncey explained it perfectly. The 2 months of being immobilized. Not being able to walk to the bathroom by yourself. Learning to walk again. Then learning to run again. Then learning to trust your body again. Tatum has been living in the gym. Sam Cassell said they literally had to tell him, "We're not coming in on Sunday, and you won't be here either." That tells you everything about his work ethic. But work ethic does not automatically translate to instant production. It is going to take time. It might take 10 games. It might take 15 games. And in those games, there are going to be moments where he struggles. There are going to be moments where Brown has it going and Tatum is standing in the corner watching. And the media? The media is going to eat that up. You already know the headlines if they lose. 2 in a row. Is Tatum hurting the chemistry? Can Brown and Tatum coexist? Whose team is it really? These narratives write themselves. And the Celtics have to be ready for that noise. Now, I am not saying this is doomed. I am not saying the Celtics are going to fall apart. In fact, Tim McMahon made a great point. They have zero expectations right now. Nobody thought they would be this good. That makes them dangerous. But here is what worries me. The Eastern Conference is not weak anymore. You have the Pistons playing unbelievable basketball. You have the Cavs. You have the Knicks. You have the Hornets, who by the way, are on a historic run. The stat they showed in this clip is crazy. The Hornets were at 0.004% chance to make the playoffs when they were 4-14. Now they have a 71% chance. They have won 6 straight by at least 15 points. That is unprecedented. This is not the same East that Boston walked through a few years ago. Every game matters. Every seed matters. And if the Celtics stumble while trying to figure out this new dynamic, they could go from being the dangerous sleeper to the team that peaked at the wrong time. The worst thing you can be in the NBA is the team that had chemistry, broke it to add a star, and then couldn't put it back together before the playoffs start. So, what is the bottom line? I think the Celtics are still contenders. I think Tatum coming back is ultimately a good thing. But I think we need to be realistic about what this looks like in the short term. Joe Mazzulla has the hardest job in the league right now. He has to manage the minutes. He has to manage the egos. He has to manage the media. He has to tell Tatum, "Hey, you're coming off the bench for a few games." He has to tell Brown, "We still need you to be aggressive." He has to keep everybody focused on the goal. And by the way, Friday night against the Mavericks is not an easy debut. Dallas is hungry. And then you add Cooper Flagg potentially returning tonight against the Magic, and this week in the NBA is absolutely stacked. I want to know what you think. Is Jaylen Brown going to willingly step back? Or is this the beginning of tension in Boston? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.